boom in there. Imagine that the theme song is playing. I'll put it in the background. We'll see. So yeah, man. It's
yeah. It's another quarantine. It's another quarantine episode, man.
Quarantine pod. We should just rename this shit the quad. Corn pod.
The corn pod. So yeah, man, we here. This is our second quarantined episode of the SwordCast.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're trying to avoid the virus, and we're trying to stay healthy. You know what I mean? So we're doing the in-house style. And
so speaking of trying to stay healthy and avoid the plague, right? Here's what I did today. So one of the things that you are allowed to do, right? You can go outside, you can get fresh air, you can run, you can walk your dog, whatever, right? So as y'all know, I've been trying to work out, I've been trying to lose weight, all that good stuff. And so I ran my mile today. I was like, you know, every morning, you never know. You go out into public, somebody breathe on you the wrong way. You never know. Do I got the corona or not? So what I decided to do was one of the symptoms is shortness of breath. So I'm fuck it. I'm gonna just run this mile, and I'm gonna just run it as hard as I can and see if I die or not. And I didn't pass away. I mean, I was tired, obviously.
Right, but you didn't. But you did not die.
I didn't have a collapsed lung, so I figured, okay, cool. I must not be showing symptoms then.
Right.
So good.
Yeah, man. So that's also, a thing that a lot of, gym goers are kind of struggling with right now is working out at home, which, I'm still recovering from broken fibula. So I have kind of become a master of working out at home. You know what I mean? So I'm fine in that aspect. But yeah, man, it's been a little rough, going a little stir crazy. But yeah, bro. So this is episode what, 30?
30, dog. Episode Steph Curry. Let's go.
Why you do that? Episode Terrell Davis.
Oh, good one. That was the next one I was coming with. Who else is not? It's actually not as many 30s in the NBA as. Is that it?
And that doesn't put the sports section of the SwordCast.
Yeah, all right, man. Fuck. Yo, we don't have any sound effects, bro. Damn, I didn't think about it until now.
We can't use the soundboard.
I don't have it. You know, it's usually right next to me.
You're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to do some. That's gonna be trash. That's gonna be trash for the soundboard.
Okay, so I can't. I'll have to put it in post production. So we just gotta imagine where the explosion.
Or imagine the sound.
Right. Exactly.
All right, there we go.
No pressure. No pressure. Post. No pressure. Editing hero.
It's look, man. We'll just interact the sound effects as they would possibly come in.
That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
to be a little benchmark for you.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you handle it in the editing side of things.
Yeah.
But that does it for the sports insurance SwordCast.
That is about to be ridiculous.
There we go. All right. So yeah, man, we have been quarantined. What are you into currently right now, man?
Yeah, man. So two things. One, I picked the Spider-Man back up. I stopped playing about 65% way through the campaign, and I don't remember why. Some other game came out that distracted me.
Yeah.
I don't remember which one it was. Was it Shenmue? It might have been Shenmue 3. I dropped everything for Shenmue 3.
The wood simulator, man.
The wood chopping simulator, dog. Oh, what a great game. Anyways, so yeah, I picked it back up. I'm almost done with it now. It's an amazing game. I'm really enjoying it. Also, bro, We'll talk more about live action shows and TV shows later, but I've been catching up on a show that I really, really dug like a few years back called Top Boy. Have you heard of Top Boy?
No, I have not.
Bro,
what is that?
Top Boy is dope, bro. It's basically
Top Boy,
right? It's basically The Wire, except it's in London, and it's like a bunch of but it's all black folks, like in South London, like Peckham, and it's like Summer House. And bro,
what's the Hackney?
Yeah,
Hackney is we did a show in Hackney.
Yeah, it's rough, right? Like,
yeah. It's a little Detroit,
right? And so
got a Detroit vibe to it.
This is actually Peckham is where John Boyega is from. So,
word, okay.
Yeah, he's
young Finn.
Yeah. So, but yeah, bro, it's fire, dog. I mean, it's really well done. I mean, you could very clearly tell that they're borrowing a lot out of the Wire playbook, but
The Wire is definitely all these little. All these little live action shows about street stuff, and The Wire is a big time influence on all those shows, man.
For sure. I mean, it's the gold standard.
How about the revelation of that recently came about that one GIF is from The Wire, where my man's like,
oh yeah.
So everybody's like just now finding out that is from The Wire.
I watched The Wire late. I didn't watch The Wire till like maybe 4 or 5 years after it had already been finished. So once I saw the GIF, I was like, okay, yeah.
The only reason I saw it in real time was because I had an older sister and she was like super into it, so I was just kind of watching it with her.
Yeah, man, but
how funny is it that my group has a song with Idris Elba?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It's so funny and random.
Stringer Bell.
Stringer Bell, yeah.
Stringer, man, Idris Elba is a great actor. He's one of my favorite actors, but I gotta admit, my only critique of him in that role is that every now and then his accent would break like real bad. That nigga's from London. I forgot.
Yo, I loved him as Heimdall in the Thor movie stuff.
Absolutely,
especially when he was using the sword in Ragnarok.
Yes, absolutely. And he's also, bro. They gave him the locks too, bro. Come on,
man. Yeah, exactly.
Super cold.
That's a great example that. These superheroes in these movies, you can change their ethnic background as long as it's done in good taste. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to. It doesn't ruin it every time as long as it's done. And this isn't me just being on deck with that because he's black. It was done well. You know what I mean? Like, it was dope, and you didn't have to.
Hey, well, actually, but what about
he's black?
Right. What if I made a black character white? See, look, y'all love to pull that little excuse out. Here's why that doesn't work. Here's why that doesn't work, bro. There are already infinite.
Well, Black Panther. What if I made Black Panther from Metropolis?
Not gonna be able to do it. You know what I'm saying? No. Here's the reason why that doesn't work, dog. Because there are already infinity white male characters. All of them are. So when you pick one that was already black, very few, the few and far between brown or female or brown and female characters, and then make another one a white male, not gonna be able to do it. And then the other thing is Black Panther.
Not gonna be able to do it.
Right. Black Panther's identity is solely based around the fact that he is an African person.
Thank you.
Not just black. That nigga is from Wakanda, Africa. You know what I'm saying? God damn it.
There are some characters where their ethnicity and their race it's not essential to their character.
Exactly.
Most black characters, it is though. You know what I mean? So we talked about this before when Iron Fist was coming out, which, by the way, that show was terrible. And Finn Jones, trash.
Not gonna be able to do
but anyway, when that show was coming out, there were some people who were saying that Iron Fist should be an Asian American person, and some people were mad. And I was actually one of the people who I didn't have a problem with them changing it, but I was also there to say, if they don't change it, it's not racist. Danny Rand's white. He's always been white. You know what I mean? But like I was saying, so yeah, if it's not essential to the actual character, it really doesn't matter.
Right. And so just to show that I'm fighting fair, a black character, and hopefully they change this. Hopefully they do it because okay, so in the comic book, what character was black, but whose blackness didn't really affect the character hardly at all? Was Blade.
Okay, yeah.
In the comic. But when they got Wesley on deck, Wesley made him black.
He made him black.
And so on the other hand, just to really show you that I'm fighting fair, and we talked about this.
Yo, hold on. Yo, some of just the facial expressions that he made in that first Blade movie. 100%. No way he did not be like this.
Actually,
yo, my man tried to. What did he do? My man, I don't remember what happened. He did something, and he just turned around like,
all right, what the fuck? Yeah, no doubt. But just to show you that I'm fighting fair on the other end of the spectrum, this realization actually made me come off him being one of my favorite heroes. Batman, he probably has to be white. He probably has to be white. And
why is that, bro?
And the reason why is because his entire character is based off of white privilege, WASP, Anglo-Saxon male, right? Like, he is generational wealthy, generational infinity money, and is able to be a valiganting, psychopathic person who dresses in a bat costume and beats up criminals because he's white, and like gets to not have a job and nobody thinks twice about it. He gets to be a billionaire playboy philanthropist without giving a shit because like that's okay for that character to do that. It's fine. You know what I'm saying?
Take off the suit and what are you? Right. Genius billionaire playboy philanthropist.
Exactly. Tony Stark, another one that probably had to be white for the same reasons. You know what I'm saying?
Put on the suit.
So anyways, that was a long tangent, but
what were we supposed to be doing? Oh yeah. All right, man. Let's get back into the pod real quick.
Yeah, for sure. What the fuck?
We're gonna do a little game right now.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. Okay.
I have a list of anime-related questions.
Okay.
You are just gonna try to answer them as fast as you can without thinking about it too much.
Oh, shit.
Are you ready?
Fuck it. Yeah, let's go. What we got?
Let's go. Anime that you hate. Anime that you hate.
Bleach. That shit trash, dog. I'm sorry, man. I know it's one of the holy trinity, but I'm not gonna be able to do it.
I feel like your answers are gonna throw off my timing of my question. Anime you think is overrated?
One Piece. Sorry. I know I'm making everybody mad.
Bro, you're attacking the black community.
Right, bro.
Anime you think is underrated?
Oh, shit. Underrated. Okay. Food Wars. I don't think it gets enough love, bro. I think Food Wars is on its way to being an all-time great. It's just fire.
I like it. Anime that you love?
Death Note.
Anime you can watch again and again and again.
Oh fuck. Oh shit. That would have been my answer, Death Note. Okay, so let me run it back. Death Note is my answer for that question. An anime that I love. I'm gonna go with the original Dragon Ball.
Nice. All right. Anime that made you fall in love with anime in the first place.
Ooh. I was about to say Akira, which is the first anime that I saw, but I was really confused on how to feel after I saw that shit for the first time. So I was like, So I would say even before I really was able to identify anime as like a genre, the next thing that I saw that was like, yo, this shit is really interesting. I need more of it was probably Ninja Scroll.
Or that would probably be one too for that. Anime that changed your life.
Oh, Samurai Champloo, bro. It's not even, you know what I'm saying? Like, not even close.
Let's go. Guilty pleasure.
Oh, shit. You know what, bro? Here, I'm about to make you hardcore Naruto fans mad. Bro, I think Boruto's okay. I think it's all right, man. I think it's all right, dog. I've only watched like the first maybe 35 episodes.
I'll say this: the problem with the Boruto is that it's not following the manga. You know what I mean? Like the stuff that's happening in the manga is pretty intense, but the show is just like doing tons of filler for some reason.
Right.
That's the problem with it. Anime
I'll give you one more guilty pleasure. Ranma 1/2. You remember that shit, dog?
I don't know if I'm familiar.
So, bro, this was like some of my middle school friends. Shout out Aaron Egan. Shout out Elizabeth Souls.
What's it called again?
It's called Ranma 1/2. It was a manga that my friend Elizabeth put me on in 7th grade, and it was about this.
Oh, with isn't it like a boy?
It's a boy. Right. It's so
into a girl or something.
Yeah, man. Okay, look, 2020. So look, it's time. So some allegory to like transgender shit. You know what I'm saying? It was
Yo, I'm gonna have to go back because I remember that show.
Yeah, because I think the girl version had red hair and the boy version had red hair. I don't remember what that shit was about, really, necessarily.
About martial arts, I think.
What's that? It has some fighting in it for sure. And I remember it had a fighting game. There was a Ranma 1/2 fighting game for like Super Nintendo.
Yo,
I had the emulator for it when I was in middle school, and I was like, "Yo, bro, this shit kind of fire." So yeah, that would be my guilty pleasure.
That's dope. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anime that you should have seen by now.
Oh fuck, man! I guess the answer is One Piece, but I'm not about to watch that shit now. Oh, I got one. This is about to make a couple of people really upset. But the anime that I have not finished yet is Evangelion. I've not finished that.
Oh, Neon Genesis. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, the parts that I've seen though I get why people feel why they feel.
I saw Evangelion when I was pretty young. I remember that show too.
You probably need to, if you saw it when you were too young.
It's mad political, right?
It's bro, that shit. Like, if I watched it in like 9th grade or middle school, I'd have been like, "Yo, what the fuck even is this?" You know what I'm saying?
It went over my head for sure. I watched it when I was in high school, but I was young high school. I think I was in 10th grade, so I need to probably go back and watch it.
Yeah, I see the appeal though. It's dope. It's super dope.
Anime that you would recommend to someone who's never seen anime before?
Oh man, so we talk about this all the time, man. So I mean, the easy answers are Attack on Titan, Death Note, but the one I'm gonna go with is going to be Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
Alchemist Brotherhood.
You already know. Boom, pound it.
Let's go. And an anime you wish you never watched.
Man, the first Bleach in the first couple episodes of One Piece. Hey, hold on, wait a minute. I got another one that's overrated, dog.
You keep making me unplug my headphone.
I got another one that's underrated. I'm sorry, that's overrated. I gave JoJo a shot.
Oh, yo.
I can't. So let's talk about JoJo for a second. We talked about this offline. You already know how homophobic the black community can sometimes be, bro.
Right. Y'all think so? For y'all cats to be saying pause every time you you say something that you think might possibly maybe be the least bit of not heterosexual content, right. Y'all say pause. But most of y'all like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, which features some of the most flamboyant male characters I've ever seen.
These characters are very clearly queer-coded characters, no doubt about it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm not, like, I got a lot of friends in the LGBT community that like swear by this shit. Like, yo, this JoJo shit is like, this shit is it's. I mean, it's. I'm not. I don't think it's whack. I don't think it's whack at all. But I don't really get it. I don't get it necessarily. But my thing is the reaction to this show. I'm glad that people like it, but I just want us to fight fair, bro. Like, if we're gonna like this show, is shout out to the show, but recognize that the thing that you like is putting on for the shit that y'all be tearing down every day. This homophobia bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, JoJo is a very, very queer-coded show, and y'all need to understand that shit and have some compassion and have some wherewithal. You know what I'm saying?
So if you like the show, I better see you out here sticking up for,
right,
people, members of that community who are getting bullied online or something. And you watch the show, I'm gonna need you to be a just not even, you don't gotta be a part of the culture, but you gotta
be an ally, bro.
Be an ally, man. Yeah, just be an ally.
Be an ally.
Ally. Yep. All right. And an anime that you wish had more seasons.
Oh shit! So we talked about this. I don't know if this was on the pod or not. I think we might have talked about it off.
This is a kind of a tough question because some shows are short, but they end and it's like perfect, and you want to change it.
But for the longest time, it was Samurai Champloo. I wanted to do Samurai Champloo, but as I've gotten older, I realized that, bro, that shit ended the way it was supposed to. I'm fine. Now, if they made more, I wouldn't trip. I would obviously watch it, but like, I don't need more Samurai Champloo. So instead, I think I'm gonna go with Kokuro no Basket. No doubt, like definitely. I want more of that. They only show the freshman year, bro. Like, I'm trying to see who gets nice. I'm trying to see who falls off. I'm trying to see
because you already know in high school,
right,
man. It's some cats that come in freshman year that are nice. Like top tier, and then they just get into some other stuff and they just stop hooping, man.
And the jump I made, man, when I used to go to open. Everybody at my school kind of knew my journey, but I used to go to open gyms as a freshman. Used to never get picked up. Used to, you know what I'm saying? Used to be out here not getting the ball ever, not getting any touches. I came back my senior year, and here's the best part. Not only was I much better, the best part was them same niggas remembered me from back then and were like, "Oh, Omari trash, he can't hoop." Bro,
and you got to go to work.
I was going crazy on them boys. So don't get it twisted, man. Like, whoever was good back then is not a guarantee to still be good by the time their senior year comes. Somebody's gonna get that growth spurt. You know what I'm saying? Somebody's gonna go to the 5-star camp and learn a secret technique or some shit, and it'll be all good. So,
or the guys who, they hit their growth spurt in 8th grade, right? So in 9th grade, they're 6'1", but they're playing power forward.
Yep. See?
And then they don't grow another inch all through high school, and then they fall off. I've seen that happen a lot too.
Yep. Yeah. So my answer is Kokoro no Basket.
All right, dope, man. So those are dope. But since we got a little video, we're gonna do something that we've never done before in SwordCast. 30th episode. First of all, I can't believe we got 30 episodes. That's wild. Goals, man. We said we were gonna do this, and we're doing it. We've been doing that episode for 30 weeks in a row, bro. Yeah. We have not missed the episode.
We have it, bro. And
30 weeks in a row, man.
Bro, look, the whole world is burning down. Right. If ever there was a time for us to miss an episode, we could have done it. The whole world is exploding behind us in the background, but we still making it happen.
Or that meme with that kid on the swing and the school's on fire behind him.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
So right now, we need to get into something. You're at school. It's first day of school. If we got any new, this is people's first time seeing any type of video from us because we had to do the pod like this. Show and tell, man.
Hey, man,
right?
Let's go.
Show and tell. Show your friends what you got. I have something for you. 1 second.
I guess I gotta entertain y'all by myself for like that. This is sort of similar to when my cat shit on the floor and Novelist just had to keep y'all company while I was trying to clean it up.
What's up, man?
Yo.
I can't even put the headies on, but hey, Master Luke, X-Men helmet. You know what I'm saying? About to go destroy the Death Star real quick. I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna go ahead and do the little wrap the wires around the Imperial Walker real quick.
Yeah, the AT&T.
Yes, sir.
Yo, that's fire, bro. So how did you procure it? What's the story there?
So, yo, man, this was actually a Christmas gift from my mom.
Hey.
It's awesome, and she supports my nerdy collector's habits. You know what I mean? So, mom came through.
The translation there is that she bought it for him when he was a grown ass adult.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Hey, yo, does it look like I'm?
Yeah. Right. Do a barrel roll.
Real quick. Wedge Antilles is the best Star Wars pilot ever.
Oh, damn, dog. Poe Dameron might have a word with you right quick, bro.
Hey, man.
Han Solo might have a word with you right quick.
Whoa. Okay. Another hot take that's going to get everybody angry at me right now. Han Solo is over. Actually, okay, let me say this. Even though the Solo movie gets trashed for some reason, because I actually enjoyed it. Even though that movie gets trashed, I will say this. That movie is the one thing that started to make me really respect Han as a pilot. Because at first, bro, Chewie flies the Falcon a lot.
That's true.
Right?
Chewie's dope.
Chewie flies the Falcon a lot. Lando is the one who flew it on the mission to blow up the second Death Star.
Good point.
You know what I mean? So sometimes I'm just like, what? But when he did the Kessel Run...
Kessel Run scene was dope, dog. That was really
amazing.
Dope.
Hold on a second. But yeah, the Kessel Run scene is what kind of made me respect Han as a pilot, man. So that's my show and tell, man.
Oh.
Luke Skywalker, X-Wing helmet.
Respect is fire. All right. So here's what I got for y'all. As you know, I am a diehard Pistons fan. And so I happened upon this right here. There's more than one, but I'm going to just show this one off.
Oh, okay. I like it. Bad boys.
This is a
framed
picture of Ben Wallace after they, I don't think this, because I think they won the championship in 2004. They were on the road, I think, weren't they?
Yeah, but it was the good old 5-game sweep.
5-game sweep, right? And so every time they would win at the Palace, Ben would come over to the scorer's table and X out the games remaining in order to win.
That's so dope, man.
Super duper dope.
Class.
Got it framed. Super fire. So here's the story. Here's how I got it. So I don't know what the potential. I'm gonna just for the sake of being a responsible adult, I'm gonna leave out the name of the company. But those of you who know me know that I used to work for a company, a super corporate company, for a long ass time. So much so that it almost like derailed my whole music career, bro. Like I know a lot of y'all know that I'm a pretty good producer. I'm a dope producer, whatever you want to call me. I did the novelist. I did the Sword of Nature record. I did some joints on Cerebral Apex. Did some stuff here and there. So
he's a goat. He's a goat.
From many people's perspective, like this music shit is no big deal. It's easy. I've always been here. And actually this is really prescient because when you and I we've known each other for like probably 7-8 years, but like when we really connected was like right as I was coming out of that place, because I remember for a project that became, let me think, was it Mike's? What did you do? I didn't see it.
The Men in Black
right.
thing. Yeah, so Mike Swords, and then I did, I think I did Dilla Instinct after that, and then Kenjutsu Under the Moonlight was after
right.
Dilla Instinct.
Right, so I think it was Mike Swords. I think it was Mike Swords. You hit me up, and we were like I said, we were cool, but we weren't like as cool as we are now. So you hit me up on Facebook and like, yo, man, or maybe you might even have texted me. Like, yo, dog, I got a new record coming out, man. I'd love to get you on it. Send me some beats. And this is famous touring Europe novelist. So I'm like, all right. and I was like, all right, cool. Let me try to do it. But I dropped the ball, bro, because I was at this company.
This company that you almost just said the name.
Said it.
I saw it.
I almost said it. But I was there. I was a slave, dog. And I could not. I felt terrible about it, bro. Like I really felt bad because I always wanted to work. I wanted us to work together. You flat out like gave me the olive branch, bro. You handed me the football. And I fumbled that bitch. I was really pissed. That I couldn't pull it off.
Do you remember when Bobby Ross had a meltdown and quit being the Lions coach in a press conference?
I don't remember it live, but I remember hearing about it. Yeah,
it's like fumble the ball on the goal line. I'll teach that stuff. It's so bad.
Right. So, anyways, I say this is a super long tangent. So it also gives me an opportunity to shout you out. So I really did appreciate when you hit me back up again and was like, yo, dog, let's do the next one. Cerebral Apex, let's get it popping. And that was sort of the beginning of what we have built since then. So shout out to you. But anyways, I say all that to say, I didn't enjoy my time there at all. I made good money. I was able to finance a lot of the stuff that's in the studio, which is dope. However, like I wasn't being fulfilled. So the one of very few things that happened there that I really appreciated was one of the big wigs in that company had heard through the grapevine one day that I was a big Pistons fan. And I swear to God, bro, like here is the punchline. Here's the dismount after all that shit I was talking. This nigga literally just walked by my desk and was like, hey man, I heard you like Pistons, and just dropped these off on my desk. And was like, and then was like, all right, man, enjoy. See you later. And I never saw him again. This nigga bro, these things are probably worth hundreds of dollars, dog, maybe thousands. He just dropped them off at my desk and just dipped. And I was like, yo, like what the fuck? So
really, the guardian angel.
And he was one of the really, really higher ups, right? Like he was,
right.
Probably multi-millionaire. Wow. I mean, for him, this was no big deal. He was just like, hey, let me do something for that brown guy who's probably going to quit soon. Maybe we can keep him in. So yeah, man. Shout out to my former employer and the Detroit basketball Pistons. Let's go.
That's dope, man. So yeah, man, y'all let us know how y'all feel about our show and tell items, and maybe in the future, we're we're gonna set up a Patreon. So I know a lot of you guys are always writing me asking how you can support it if you want to donate or something. And we're gonna work on getting a better setup so we can get you guys some video for all the podcast episodes. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna try to step it up for you guys, and we'll be doing more of that. But with that said, man, that's dope. Let's get into some 90s nostalgia.
Hey.
Let's talk about some old 90s live action shows that we used to watch growing up. Obviously, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, man. They have made like 50,000 Power Ranger series, but in my opinion, it was always, I think it was always at its highest when, obviously the original, right? But I remember when, after the film had came out, you know what I mean? And then we had that was 95, right? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. Yeah. And then we had that little story where Tommy had been gone for a minute and he had to come back and as the White Ranger. Mm-hmm. That was
that was dope.
So dope.
That was super dope. Yo, you don't know anything about. Hold on, I'm like troubleshooting while we're talking here. One of our. Hey, it just dawned on me that it's recording only from my like vantage point. So like, I'm trying to get it so it shows both of our faces, like kind of.
Oh, word.
So this is basically going to be the novelist show with Omari, like in the tiny.
No, man, we got to figure out how to.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm sure if we use Skype next time, it'll probably be easy to do that.
All right, maybe we should do that. Yeah. All right.
I just figured I'd be trying to give Google the benefit of the doubt, but they be bullshitting sometimes. Sorry, Google.
Come on, Google.
All right. Anyways, whatever. So yeah, Power Rangers '95 when that was well, we're not going to talk about the movie. We're talking about the TV show. Listen, dog. Yeah. I remember the day Power Rangers. I don't know if I remember the day it came out, but I remember the day that I discovered it when it came.
I remember the same.
It was me and Edmund. Shout out to Edmund just to show how far we go back.
Edmund is around for a lot of
years. I'm telling you, bro. Like that, me and that nigga really good together, like for real. So we were at a day camp, like a summer camp or whatever. And we were playing after school. We were playing in like the little jungle gym or whatever. And he came up to me. He was like, "Hey man, have you seen Power Rangers?" And I was like, "Bro, I don't know, but that shit's on fire." And he sort of gave me like a little kid explanation of it. Like, yo, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I already know a child explanation of Power Rangers is probably sounding amazing.
Right. And so they were like, so you need something that, we have superpowers, they're teenagers, and they all come in different colors. And so naturally my favorite color was blue. So I was like, all right, well, I want to be the Blue Ranger because that's my favorite color. And I didn't realize that, and so this is back during the time where like it mattered if you were a nerd or not, like you weren't. That's what it was to be. So I didn't know that Billy, because I hadn't seen it yet. I just heard about it. I didn't know that Billy was like a dork and couldn't fight. And I was like, shit. Well, I guess, and so from that moment forward, I kind of had a soft spot for Billy because I claimed him, and I couldn't like.
You didn't claim him. You only claimed him behind closed doors.
Yeah, and I was like. Bro, Billy, hold on, dog. I don't know if you remember, dog. This nigga Billy used to run and hide during the
I remember Billy used to take cover unless but he did progress though. He got better.
He did. Once he got his powers, he was really dope.
Billy was scrappy.
So hold on, something just dawned on me really quick. I'm gonna put this screen on me for a second, and I'm gonna give you guys, just because I feel bad now, I'm gonna give you guys a better look at this.
Yeah, man, because there you go.
Oh, job well done. Let's go look at Big Ben. Goddamn, get the weekends, look your hands the fuck out here. Okay, my
bad. There we go.
Boom. Yeah, all right. So wait, but we got to be careful, man, because I don't want to spoil. I got a good one coming. So, and I think you about to probably say it. So, nigga, shut the fuck up. Don't say nothing.
Boy.
Don't say nothing. What else you got? But don't say the one I want to say.
I
mean, what?
That's not. You just gonna have to say it because we might say the same thing. What you got?
I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go ahead.
All right, man. I hope it's not VR Troopers, dog.
It wasn't, but VR Troopers was dope. VR Troopers was dope.
VR Troopers was dope. We had my man JP, who was the black dude, and I mean, obviously Power Rangers set off a huge, you know what I mean, a huge like wave of all those similar, Superhuman Samurai, Cyber Squad. Come on, man, that was dope. that was my show. That was dope. Beetleborgs. Yo, what on earth was going on in that show?
I don't know, but I remember there was that weird dude in the suit with like a giant ass Jay Leno chin.
Bro, and they had like vampires and werewolves. Yeah, it was like a
scary house, but the niggas was like space cyborgs or beetles somehow. It was a weird show, but you know they had some sweet ass toys.
They did, and they had some cool looking villains too.
Yeah. So yeah, let's just stop right there because I don't trust that I'm about to say the one that I got in the chamber.
I think I know what you're talking about.
For my top 5.
It's in
my top 5. So that's why I'm trying to be careful with it. You know what I'm saying? So
all right, so let's stop right there and let's get into our top 5 of the day then.
All right, man.
In today's top 5, son,
Higzu,
I need your top 5 favorite live action shows ever.
All right.
Excluding no sitcoms.
Okay, good. We talked about that off air because sitcoms is a whole like
a whole nother way.
It's a whole other thing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when we first started thinking about this, I was just like, yo, my list is so hardcore sci-fi, dog. So I made some changes to make it more reflective of, my entire fandom. So I got some. Obviously, I got so many. I got a bunch of honorable mentions that I'm going to touch on.
Honorable mentions. Okay.
So one of my favorite shows ever, at least the first 2 or 3 seasons, and it's one of the things that inspired the nickname Hero is the show Heroes.
Yeah, man. You know what? I never really got into that show. I remember when it was on, and a lot of people were watching it, but I never really got a chance to get into it.
You would have liked it, I think. I mean, it lost its way after a while because it kind of suffered from that writer strike back in 2006 or 7, or maybe 2008. But whatever the case, this first couple seasons were amazing. It was super, super, super fire. And the character Hero, dog, like everybody always asks. I think I don't know if I've ever asked you this question before. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Oh, that's a whole episode question. If I could have a superpower, what would it be? Man, that's tough. Probably, honestly, man, that's really tough, bro. Probably just thinking of others. I would really like to have. Okay, I would want to control the element. If I had the power, I would want to be able to control the element, sort of like the people on Last Airbender, right? So if I could choose the element to control, I would pick water. So it'd be like a water manipulator. Or a water bender. That would be my power.
All right, so here comes some sweaty. It's not quite well actually, but you know who actually has that power, but just only utilizes one version of it is Bobby Drake, Iceman.
Yes, absolutely.
His power is not necessarily
it's not ice.
That's just the thing that's easiest for him to do. He has control over moisture to the subatomic level. That nigga can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Which is why he's an Omega level mutant, right? But we could definitely see him do so much more.
Absolutely. Yeah. So I asked that question because if my answer has been the same ever since I saw that show, and it would be the control time. There's no doubt that would be it. The control over the space time.
The eye of Okamoto.
Right, dog. And even sort of with my alias as Hero, like the producer, right before I adapted the Beat Batosai alias, it was Hero, bro. I control the track, man. I control the time. I chop, I screw, I slow down time, I speed it up, I warp from this place to the other. Like when you chop samples, like that all went into, like that Hero producer persona. So that was super influential show. That character, Hero in that show he was obviously my favorite. So shout out to that show. Also, Westworld. I just watched an episode, like literally. I've
heard of it. I've never watched it.
It's dope. It's like, it's like the perfect show for me, dog. Like hardcore, sweaty theory. Like you don't know what the fuck is going on. Like everybody is confused and like it's theories and lore and all that stuff. Like it's basically about like a theme park. It's actually the book Westworld was written by the same guy who wrote the book Jurassic Park. So it's about like a theme park that has like a Western, like a Wild Wild West vibe to it, except instead of people that work there, they're robots. And eventually they rise up and start a revolution. But it's dope. Also got to give a shout out to The Expanse, which is a really dope sci-fi show. Super hard to explain. I think I may have already talked about this on that show, but just check it out. I can't even begin to describe it, or else we'll be here all day. And also, man, Into the Badlands, dog. What a fucking dope show, dog. Yo,
I love that.
Man, and the martial arts on that shit were legit. Them cats were all
great show.
Imagine Mad Max, a future dystopian world, but instead of guns, like, because one of the plot points is that there ain't no guns, right?
No guns. That's why it's so creative, man. So, no, I'm gonna talk about Into the Badlands.
Okay.
Spoiler alert.
Sorry about that. But yeah, man, like basically your weapon is your arts, bro. You got to make your arts martial as fuck. And they take it seriously in the Badlands, bro. Like, super, super cool. All right, so let's get into the top 5. And number 5, finally, this is what I've been trying to hide from this nigga, dog. Number 5, one of the most influential shows, a super slept on gem of a show that me and this nigga like basically bonded over, rediscovering it. WMAC Masters.
Yo,
yes,
that's an explosion,
right? Yeah. Listen, bro. What?
WMAC Masters. Hakeem the Machine.
Hey! Shout out to Hakeem the Machine, bro. Like,
Hakeem the Machine.
Seriously,
man.
Like, no bullshit.
We talked about it before. This guy single-handedly inspired like an entire generation of 90s black kids to do martial arts.
No doubt. I think by that time I was already into martial arts, but he definitely cemented it. Like, yo, like that motherfucker is dope. He was, even though he lost his scrap in Mortal Kombat. Bro, he was electric on screen, dog.
He was, bro.
I always remember that one part. This is I have locks now, but before I had locks, when I was really young, I had like individual braids. They were kind of long, and I remember there was one scene, and it made me want to grow my hair out. Where he got tripped or something, and he did the kip up and like,
bro, in his hair,
yeah. And then he did like that lion roar. I was like, let's fucking go, dog.
That was so dope.
That shit was super, super dope. So anyways, yeah. Shout out to WMSA Masters. My favorite was Tsunami, the guy who Jeet Kune Do.
Tsunami was my favorite too.
Yep, and even though we just got done praising Akeem the Machine, he was definitely my second favorite, no doubt. But everybody was dope, man. You had Superstar.
What was my
Pack? I think that's the guy who I think we talked about this before too. Superstar is the dude who did the mocap for Liu Kang in the first Mortal Kombat game.
Yeah. There was another guy on there named Red Dragon or something. Yep. He was really cool.
Yep.
And WMAC Masters had some pretty cool toys too, man. Back in the 90s, bro. They had some dope little action figures too.
Yeah, super dope, man. That's got to be my number 5, especially how. And it was dope because it was like a reality TV show, but it had some wrestling to it a little bit too because they had backstage. You know?
Yeah, yeah, I got you. I'm gonna make a little correlation there when I start to perform myself.
All right, so moving on to number 4, man. It took me a minute to think about this one, but now that I'm thinking about it, I'm like, bro, what the fuck was I thinking, man?
Right.
And I was late. I'm famously late. I'm a famously late bloomer when it comes to this show. I don't know if I hated on it, but I used to be one of those motherfuckers that was loudly proclaiming that I didn't watch it when everybody else was watching it. When I got on the Game of Thrones train, dog,
okay.
Captain now. Not only have I watched, I binged the whole series in like a month or less, like 2 or 3 weeks. On top of that, I've also read all of the books now. I'm almost done with the last book now. So like, bro, the World of Ice and Fire, man, it's just so well done. It's hard. It's really well acted. Like, there's just a lot of good old fashioned drama. The reason why I wasn't interested in it at first is because I saw the dragons and I saw the magic or what I thought was going to be magic and dragons. And
you're not a big magic guy.
Magic, bro. I wasn't a huge. I respect the Lord of the Rings because of the place that it plays or the place that it holds in pop culture, but it didn't speak to me necessarily like that. But Game of Thrones, bro, I stand corrected. It ain't. It's betrayal and fucking cruelty and violence and nigga craziness and schemes and bro, it's really that show lived up to the hype in a way that I was genuinely impressed with. I was like, all right, I get it, I understand. Speaking of a show living up to its hype, I'm gonna go with number 3, The Wire.
Hey, okay.
Listen, bro, The Wire is, a lot of people say it's one of the great shows of all time. It is. I mean, I was talking about Top Boy earlier today. It's similar, obviously. Like, it's the foundation, like you were saying, to basically any cop drama, crime drama. And it really hasn't been surpassed. I mean, it's the gold standard of showing, like, the realism, the circular effect. I mean, the way that it ended. And with no spoilers, it essentially is back. Everything is back to the beginning. Just pieces have shuffled around. It's just really dope. I was really, really into it. A lot of famous people got their starts there. Idris Elba, Michael B. Jordan, Wood Harris, even though he was already kind of famous at that point.
Yeah, he was.
So, but yeah, man. So shout out to The Wire at number 3. Number 2, man. Slept on, bro. I don't understand why people don't fuck with this show the way that they should, dog. Mr. Robot, bro.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Robot. Like, I had when I first started.
I've never watched it, but I always.
It's great.
It always used to come on after wrestling, and I'd be like, oh, that dude looks like Finn Balor.
He does kind of look like Finn Balor. Egyptian Finn Balor. Yeah, Rami Malek is an amazing actor. He's one of my favorites too, and also the director Sam Ismail is one of my favorites as well. He's got a new show, The Briar Patch, that I'm going to check out. Oh, that's not what it's called. Is that what it's called? I don't know. Somebody will correct me. Anyways, this show, bro, it's about a vigilante hacker is trying to like destroy the. I mean, it's really like prescient to like what's going on today, right? Like he's trying to do a hack. He's trying to engineer a hack that like wipes out America's financial data and basically just
what?
And right, exactly. He just eliminates all debt, right? And but like there's like some schizophrenia, some like split personality stuff going on there. It's the way that it's like the main character Elliot like clearly has mental health issues. So he's kind of one of those like broken geniuses. But the way the story is told from his perspective and his narration point, you could like very clearly tell that he's crazy. But that makes it like way more interesting the way the story is told. It's not linear. It's all over the place. Shit's super well done. So shout out to Mr. Robot, one of my favorite TV shows ever. And finally at number one, bro, when I first started talking about this list, they were all Star Trek, all 5 of them. My top but I have to pick one. And those of you who know me know where I'm going with this. Star Trek Deep Space Nine, bro. Greatest live action TV show of all time, in my opinion. I love Star Trek. Obviously, I love space and science fiction. But you mean to tell me that there is a...
I hate magic.
I don't fuck with magic, dog. You know what I'm saying? So, you mean to tell me that there's a show out there that does all the stuff that I like?
Word.
The main character is a strong-ass black man, nigga, in 1996 or 7? Bro, like, Avery Brooks, he also went to my alma mater as well. Shout out Oberlin College. I just felt a connection, bro. Like this is gonna sound weird, but when I watch that show, like I feel like I'm at home. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel it's very like it like wraps you up in nostalgia and it makes you feel like warm and fuzzy. You know what I'm saying? Like, what Avery Brooks, or I think we did our top 5 like characters ever, and I'm pretty sure Benjamin Sisko was in my top 5 somewhere. As just one of my favorite like fictional people ever. The prototypical like bald-headed black guy with the goatee that like doesn't take shit from anybody and is super tough and super strong and all of this stuff, but also like extremely eloquent, like really well spoken. Avery Brooks, the actor, is a very extravagant, like over the top actor. So like it's all his lines are delivered extremely sort of exaggerated in a way that I think is hilarious. And also, bro, this nigga is a single dad out here, bro. A single dad is also the commander of a star fleet, of one of the most important like strongholds in an entire like fleet of starships. And he does that shit and still has time to come back and cook his son gumbo every night because that nigga's around. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Benjamin Sisko and Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Really one of the most influential shows and just like a super familiar dope ass show, bro. So that's my number one. So just to run back.
Hey man.
Yeah, bro. I feel like I just ran a marathon just now.
No, man, it's a great list. I like it.
Yes.
Like
we had WMAC Masters at number 5, number 4, Game of Thrones, number 3, The Wire, number 2, Mr. Robot, number 1, Star Trek Deep Space Nine.
Let's go.
Boom.
I like it, man.
You're back on the screen. I turned the screen back to you, so I'm.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. All right, man. So I like it. Very, very good list. My list has a little bit of everything. Once again, I gotta do some honorable mentions as always. Obviously, Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Of course.
Grew up on Power Rangers. Huge Power Rangers fan. Loved it. WMAC Masters. Loved it. Had the right amount of 90s corniness that Power Rangers had. It was so good. I had never seen anything like it. It was dope. The Witcher, man. I loved The Witcher. I loved The Witcher season 1. Got it. Need a little more. I'm sure it'll be up there one day. Daredevil, man. I love Daredevil. I really love Daredevil season 1 and 2. Phenomenal. It doesn't make my top 5 just because I'm including a lot of different type of things in it. But let's get into this list, man. Coming in at number 5, look, man, I'm always here for the 80s vibe, and I love, the sci-fi 80s. I love it, man. I love it. I love E.T. I love Mac and Me. I love Alien. And I love, and I love mind powers. I love espers and telekinetic abilities. So number 5, I gotta go with Stranger Things, man.
Damn it.
Shout out to Elle, young baby girl Tetsuo.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, out here. I love Elle. I love Stranger Things. Dustin's my dude, man. Stranger Things, a great show. Love the vibe of it. Super excited for Stranger Things 4 coming up. So yeah, man, I gotta go Stranger Things. Like I said, I love the 80s vibe. Season 1 is still definitely my favorite season, but I'm hoping that this season can be good too. But just season 1 was just fantastic, man. The Demogorgon and Elle, you know what I'm saying, coming to the rescue at the end. She did the Thanos on the effect on the Demogorgon and turned them into little checker mini specs. That was awesome.
Great pick. Fucking hell.
There's so many out there. Right? Coming in at number 4, man, I gotta go Into the Badlands. Now, I have not finished the show. I've only seen the first 2 seasons, but just a show that there's no guns, man, right? So you have to be skilled in using some type of weapon and martial arts, and I love the concept of the show. The fights are fantastic. It's just a super unique concept. I love martial arts, so it instantly drew me in. And the fights, man, the fights are top notch. Yes. Fights are so good. It's got a really dope concept to it, and it's just high quality, man. The first episode I saw had that crazy fight in the forest, man.
That shit was brutal as fuck, dog.
Right off the bat.
Yeah.
So Into the Badlands coming in at number 4, man. Coming in at number 3, man. Look, I love pro wrestling, and this is what I was going to talk about when you were talking about WMXC Masters. Lucha Underground, man. Look,
okay.
Everybody knows I'm a huge pro wrestling fan, right? Lucha Underground did something with wrestling that I have never seen. It turned it into a literal, dramatic TV show, right? And now when you watch wrestling, you watch WWE, you watch whatever you watch, there are always quirky, characters, and there's always crazy storylines going on, but there's a limit to it. There's always a limit to it. Lucha Underground was a dramatic wrestling show with matches and everything, but the story was like watching a movie. Like people were dying. You know what I'm saying? Like people were getting killed. I'd never seen anything like it. It was amazing. And when you're a kid and you watch wrestling and then people are like, oh, it's fake, why watch? And then you find out that you don't understand. You just understand. You just find out that they're not intentionally trying to kill each other, and then you're like, oh, it's fake, and you get mad. When you get older, you start to understand the business more. You understand how it works. It's a drama. It's the most impressive blend of athleticism and acting that you'll ever see, right? So, and that's what Lucha Underground is, bro. It's crazy characters. It's shot like it's a show. It's not shot like wrestling. It's the camera work is what's amazing. The characters, the wrestlers. I mean, I got introduced to Pentagon, who's one of my favorite wrestlers now. Phoenix, who's one of my favorite wrestlers now. They're in AEW, tearing it up. If some of you guys are Ricochet fans, I got introduced to Ricochet on there. He was Prince Puma. So Lucha Underground, man, super, just a really good, innovative way to do pro wrestling that I had never seen until I saw Lucha Underground. Coming in at number 2, man. Look, I know it's only been 1 season. I don't care. Mandalorian coming at number 2. Look, man, for us diehard Star Wars fans, for so long we wanted a live action Star Wars show. We never got it. We finally got it, and it was amazing. I have no doubts that Mandalorian is going to keep delivering these good shows. That's why it's so high on my list. I loved it. The soundtrack, the little concept art that they showed at the end, getting a glimpse into real Mandalorian culture after we've kind of admired it from afar. Yeah. You know what I mean? Without too much knowledge on it. And the action scenes, man. You know what I mean? It was everything about that show was perfect. Like that's one of the most perfect shows I've ever watched. I really enjoyed Mandalorian. Oh man, my favorite episode of Mandalorian would probably have to be. You know what? I love the one. The one where he went to do the mission and they tried to backstab him and he was in the prison, you know what I mean, taking them all out. Shinobi, that's my favorite. Yes, Shinobi, man. Yeah. That's my favorite episode. But another episode that was really good that I really enjoyed was the one where the little jerk Jawas took his the little Jawa crackheads, broke his shit down, so he had to go get that egg. Yeah. That was a good episode. I really liked that episode too. That was kind of the beginning of the little bond between him and Baby Yoda. So that was dope. Well, actually, relax. I know it's not Yoda. Okay, we know his name's not Yoda. We know the child. Yeah. But coming in at number one, and this was like a recent revelation here that knocked Daredevil out of my top 5 because Daredevil would have been on here if it hadn't been. Look, man, number 1, the handsome siblings. Let me tell you something right now. When I was a kid, teenager, there's an old kung fu movie called Handsome Siblings. Came out in the 90s. Quirky, goofy, over the top 90s kung fu movie. It's dope. I really like it. It's dope. And this show is a remake off of that movie, and it's on Netflix. So if you haven't seen it, you gotta check it out. You want to talk about a super traditional, old school kung fu style movie, but just with the utmost high quality. Obviously, you get the trash CGI like you always do in martial arts movies. CGI is always terrible, but there's not a lot of it. But so when they use it, it sucks. But this show is it's got a little bit of Crouching Tiger in it. Crouching Tiger is my favorite movie of all time, so you already know it's got a little bit of Crouching Tiger to it. It's got a little bit of little bit of Drunken Master to it. It just has all these old kung fu. Little five deadly venoms. It just has all these old school kung fu movies, and it just looks so good because it's 2020 basically. You know what I mean? So you guys gotta check it out, man. Handsome Siblings. It's a kung fu show. It's like you said about Game of Thrones, man. It's sweet fights, but it's betrayal and it's crazy relationship things going on. It's about this. There's this guy, and he has, and in the beginning you just see he has a woman that's with him. She's pregnant. She has his babies. She has twins. Now it turns out that this guy is he had been running away from another woman that loved him because he wanted to be with this girl. Now something happens, blah blah blah. And I'm not going to spoil it because I want you guys to watch it. But anyway, something happens. The boys end up going their separate ways. One of them grows up with a family of villains. He grows up with the 10 deadly villains or whatever. It's something like that they call them. He grows up with that family, so he kind of grows up being a villain. And the other one grows up in this palace, this royal kingdom where it's only female martial arts masters. So he's the only male. He's the only male from there, and they have this technique that's called the jade swiping palm or something, bro. And it's like airbending. It's crazy.
I actually watched the first episode, and I
oh word, okay. Yeah, so he grows up, you know what I mean? And so he grows up there. So then they both go off into the world at the same time. I'm not going to tell you why because I'll spoil it. They both go off into the world at the same time. And they're brothers. They don't know they're brothers. And the show is just kind of about them, their paths converging. You know what I mean? And it's just a really good show, man. Like I said, it's got some crazy female characters in it. Like I said, most of the fighters in the show are females, right? Which is why it reminds me of Crouching Tiger. Right. I love Crouching Tiger, man, with Jen and those characters, but it just has that Crouching Tiger vibe to it. And like I said, man, it's very old school style, but it just looks so good because it's 2020. Yeah. You guys got to check it out. I'm a huge fan of, obviously, Chinese martial arts, Chinese sword styles with the Jian straight sword. They use that a lot in the show. So I'm super into it, man, and I'm almost done with this too. So number 1, Handsome Siblings, bro. So that's my top 5. Number 5, counting back down, Stranger Things. Number 4, Into the Badlands. Number 3, Lucha Underground. Number 2, Mando. Number 1, Handsome Siblings, man. My top 5 favorite live action shows ever. So yeah, man. So with that said, we're in the quarantine thing, and everybody's kind of going a little stir crazy. People dealing with a lot of stress right now. What is the funniest internet video that you have seen recently?
Let me think about that for a second. So.
All right.
Yeah, you got one. Go ahead.
All right. While you're thinking, I saw this video on Twitter, and it's this guy, and he is he's just on the game, playing the game, got the headset on, and this girl sets the camera up, and she just casually starts climbing on my man's shoulders, and he's just like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing?" And bro, and she hits him with a reverse Hurricane Rana.
I saw you posted that.
I'm gonna show y'all real quick. I don't know what it's gonna look or sound like. Can you even see it?
Yeah.
Hold on, guys. Slushes on my shoulders. What's going?
He's like, "Oh, you're just gonna get over my show." Jesus Christ! Poison Rana. That's the funniest internet video I've seen in a long time. That has nothing to do with the virus, right? I'm so tired of seeing everything have to do with that. So, seeing something funny not pertaining to that was pretty good.
Oh man, let me think for a second. Let me think what I've seen recently. Bro, I'm just scrolling net here. Dog, you put me on the spot. I don't know.
It's all good, man. That can be my little recommendation.
There you go. Okay. So I do have a recommendation, a quarantine recommendation for folks, man. I've already talked about it once here today, but I'm telling you, bro, go watch Top Boy, bro. That shit is fucking
Top Boy.
It is. I mean, I just like to see black stories. And I mean, something you want to say about it being about crime or whatever, but like, yo, that shit was fucking dope. It was just well done. I mean, there are competent characters on screen. The directing, the acting, everything is really top notch. I mean, there's some twists and turns that I didn't see coming. And I literally stayed up till like 3:00 in the morning last night, finishing that shit. And it was definitely worth it. So it's on Netflix. Top Boy, fire.
Check it out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. All right. And so one thing I'm gonna give you guys is so we talked about this a little earlier. I'm a huge Jason David Frank fan, right? Jason David Frank, if you guys aren't familiar, he is the guy who played Tommy the Goat on The World. Jason David Frank plays Deadshot or Bloodshot, right? Is that his name, Bloodshot? The Valiant comic character. He plays Bloodshot in a Ninjak YouTube web series. So I'm definitely going to check that out. Ninjak is also another Valiant comic character. If you grew up in the 90s, you are probably familiar with Valiant Comics. It's a whole comic universe. Some pretty dope characters, man. So I'm definitely going to check that out.
Yeah, no doubt, man. I just got put up on the Valiant universe, or their universe. So I'm going to definitely go ahead and check them out. They are, so some of the big names would be like Y the Last Man, Bloodshot, Jack, Exo, Man of War. Those are some of their bigger characters that folks may know about, and it's much more adult oriented than something like Marvel or DC is. But from the little that I've hella violent. The little that I've ventured into it so far, it's really dope. So I think I would also recommend that as well.
Yeah, man. So with that said, thank you all, man, for tuning in. I know that we're having some difficulties with this quarantine thing going on, and we're just trying to still give y'all some content, man. So yeah, man, like I said, we're working on getting a little Patreon set up. If you guys want to donate, we're gonna work on getting you guys some really good video with both of us in it, not from two separate locations. You know what I mean? We need to try to get that set up, man. And so, man, thank y'all for listening once again. If you haven't already, go check out my new project, Sword of Nature, man, produced entirely by my guy, the GOAT, Hiro-san, right here. You know what I mean? And some things on the horizon, surprise for you guys. Working on an EP with Mega Ran called Maverick Owners. Heroes got some joints on there. It's really dope. It's crazy. I can't wait for you guys to hear that. This will be Tuesday, right? So today, my group, Clear Soul Forces, man, dropping a new music video for Chips, produced by my dude Elijah Day. It's off our new album, Forces With You. Make sure you guys go check that video out, man, over on the Clear Soul Forces YouTube channel. And yeah, man, thank y'all for listening. Episode 30 in the books. Thank you.
My word is my sword, Hokage and Batosai, pulling the blades out of the forge up. Prior to my knowledge of the Force, was thinking Jedi, but through obtaining holocrons from both sides, I'm under great skies. Everything that glitter ain't kyber crystal, my mind will lift you. In this time we shine together, disarm your pistol, yo. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my sword play when blades clash. Welcome to the SwordCast, my wordplay, my sword play when blades clash.